Hi everyone, Aksana here. Let me know that you can hear me well, that the audio is working really good. So I'm live right now. And just a few quick announcements. Our next program, we will work with people one-on-one every single day, provide education and live classes. It's starting in January. That's when we have our next opening. And we don't run this program every month. We right now we usually accept new clients sometimes every 2 to 3 months, sometimes every 4 months. It's depending what kind of cases we're dealing with and how long a person is doing the program for. So if we have people who join a longer program, then we're not able to accept a new client until maybe 4 to 5 months later, or maybe 3 to 4 months. So it really just depends what type of cases people come to us for help with. But we do have different websites where we share how we help people with all types of chronic inflammatory diseases, whether it was alopecia, Hashimoto's, arthritis. And majority of our clients do see improvements in 6 weeks, not months, where either their labs improve or their symptoms improve. And so, because this program requires so much of our time and attention, especially my sister Victoria works a lot on this program, providing education for clients and weekly Zoom meetings. We're not able to continue running this program all year round when we already have clients who are working with us. So our next opening is in January, and the opening before January was in September. So you can see there's like a 3 to 4 month gap between each availability. And those of you who are looking to get a head start of your new year, get your healing in order, start taking care of yourself, then that's why we created the 3 new courses. You can comment under this video masterclass, and the links are going to be sent to you automatically. So we have a course on longevity. Anybody can really watch that class, whether you're in your 20s or 30s, but especially if you're over 35 and you're looking to learn how to increase your longevity. But not only that, how to stop getting exposure to toxins. And most toxins come from the foods we are consuming. So a lot of people come to us and they say, I have to use, non-toxic shampoo. I have to use non-toxic hair oils, or I have to use olive oil on my face. We don't believe in that. My sister and I don't use any, we use all the skincare that is has chemicals in it, and it's a medical grade skincare. Otherwise, it's not gonna work if you're gonna be putting olive oil on your face. That's ridiculous. If somebody telling you to put olive oil on your face, it's not gonna help you have better skin, okay? And your skin, it all starts from the inside out. So it doesn't matter how many expensive creams you're gonna buy, how many shampoos you're going to buy, your hair and your skin is not going to get better unless you fix what's inside. What's causing you to have hair loss, what's causing you to have gray hair. And those of you who know us, you know our age, right? We are way older than 25, way past our 20s, and also our 30s now. So not only we have this long thick hair, which we were able to achieve following what we teach our clients in the program. And again, we started doing this 15 years ago. So it's not something we just created, 5 years ago, which been a decade of our experience working with people. And we invested hundreds of thousands of dollars to create this program online and also gain the experience, because when it comes to helping people get their health back, it's all about experience. You can be the best, you can have the best knowledge, you can have the best degrees, but unless you have experience and results helping people, none of that matters. Okay, so it's in those experience, it takes decades of your life. Okay, it's in order to gain experience, we had to put everything else on hold, a personal life on hold, everything else on hold. By spending so much time working with clients, we had no time to do anything else. Okay, so unless you're willing to do that yourself, then it's gonna take you 10 plus years to figure out what took us, all this time to figure it out. And so if you're looking to get started, you can comment under this video masterclass and you can start watching our classes. So the longevity class, I think that's really great. I follow a lot of the things myself. Make sure that you follow us on different social media channel, because we are starting new health series. So a new health series is gonna focus on, healthy things we try, my sister and I. We're gonna be sharing with you some of the things that you can implement into your life to help you live healthier, better lives. But also, in a page, we like to challenge you, because unless you get out of your comfort zone, nothing's gonna change for you. Because doing things that are gonna get you the health that you want, the life that you want, are never gonna be comfortable. It's never gonna be comfortable, okay? So make sure that the reason why we make those posts is to help you raise your standards for yourself. So if you want to get started, whether if you're dealing with the gut issues, we have a course on that, because I address the common gut healing myths. Okay, so why people having histamine issues or food sensitivity issues? I talk about that. I talk about fiber, and I talk about all the different tests that you can do, which tests are useless and which tests actually good for you to test for when you're having gut issues. And so that's one class. Another class, like I talked about longevity, some of the principles to follow to start increasing your longevity. And why do our clients who follow our program and stick to it not only live longer, but they also live healthier? Okay, that's the class you want to watch. And then the third class is about cancer. So I'm a peer-reviewed published immunology scientist, and I've published dozens of research papers. And cancer cells, they do not just only feed on sugar, they also feed on amino acids. And that's something that's a big myth. Everybody tells you as you get older, you're supposed to be eating more amino acids, more protein, but that's not the case. Speaking from my own experience, I probably eat around 30 to 40 grams of protein per day, but I'm not losing any hair. So again, if you're losing your hair, if your skin is getting worse, it's all because you might be sick on the inside, you might be overloaded with toxicity. So that's why when you repair your cells, all those toxins come out. And the older we get, the more we accumulate those toxins, especially from the foods. So if you're really looking to learn which foods are contributing to the toxicity inside your cells, then comment masterclass on this video. I think it's masterclass, right? And we're gonna send you automatic message to those classes, okay? So again, if you're looking to get personal help, that's where we really tell you what to do, how to do it, and we provide daily education. So our clients get daily emails with education. We address the most common questions other people, hundreds of people who've gone through our program have asked us about. So basically, it's like 10 years of all the questions that we put together. You get to see that in the program. So if you are seriously trying to heal, or if you just really addicted to feeling like you're doing something, a lot of people fill out different forms on the website. They schedule endless appointments, and it's really procrastination discussed as progress. So one of the fastest way to create depression is to declare something important and then fail to act on it. A lot of people say, it's 10 out of 10 priority for them to get, whatever they want out of life. But then when it comes to making a decision to do something different, they hesitate. And this disconnect actually disturbs your neurochemistry. There has to be a link between your words and your actions. And many people say, that it's a top priority to reverse the arthritis, for example. And they'll rate it 10 out of 10 on importance. But when you look at their daily choices, the truth comes out. So your words will say, I'll do whatever it takes, but your actions, they'll say, I do whatever's comfortable. So that's why a lot of people not able to achieve things in life, whether it's to have extraordinary health, it requires commitment, it requires effort, and it requires you investing into things that are uncomfortable. Okay, it's really comfortable to pay $200 for an appointment, take a bunch of supplements, and try new things. But if your health stays the same, it means that you're just doing different things and you're busy, but you're not really moving forward. So somebody told us recently, and I'm gonna quote her. She said, I have severe rheumatoid arthritis. She said she's semi-functional. In fact, she texted us that she said she would rather die than to continue suffering. And she's in constant pain, and she can't do normal tasks, and she can't go for walks. And she's always sad because I can't be normal. That's what she told us. And she emailed us and she said, I'm really ready to bite the bullet and give your program a try. So these words are really heavy, they're really emotional, and they sounded like someone who truly wanted to change. So we accepted her to have a consultation with her. And then she chose to continue doing her alkaline diet, which hasn't been helping her. So she didn't want to try a program because she's afraid to invest and to commit to it, because you're gonna commit and you're gonna have to actually do what we tell you to do, and it's an investment. It's not, $500. It's a higher investment. So when somebody has to pay high investment, they're really gonna stick to it, right? So, and that's something we see over and over in our work. Not everyone who says they're ready is actually ready. And not everyone who wants relief is willing to do what recovery requires. And really, the hardest thing to do is to follow what we tell you to do and really commit to it long enough to have the transformation that you want in your health. You're not going to get amazing health by just eating gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free. It's not going to happen. If all the other things that you're eating are still keeping you sick, you're not getting enough nutrients, you're not eating enough, or you're not, strict enough. So person number one, they feel miserable. They talk about how bad it is. They want synapses. They want reassurance. They want certainty. That's a person number one. But when it's time to act, they pause, delay, overthink, and they stay put. Their words say, I want my life back, but the actions say, I'm not willing to change my life. So nothing changes. Let's give an example about our dad. Our dad came to the United States in his late 40s. He had an early heart issue, minor heart attack, when he was 35 years old. We lived in a 525 square foot apartment in Ukraine, and our mom really had to, help support our family. And we were a family of five. And our dad did not speak any English. He was drinking alcohol really heavily. He had a lot of stress at his work, but somebody referred him to come work in the United States. And my dad had to take that opportunity. Was it easy for him to come to the United States, not speak any English, with only $300 in his pocket? He only had $300 on him. Learn the new language, get a new job, be away from his family. He came alone in order to give us a better life. How many people are willing to do that now? Because the world, people have become weak, because everything's became so accessible to us. You need to see a doctor, you can now see a doctor on Amazon. You can see virtual doctors these days. You don't even have to work very hard and still live comfortably at home. So people have create weakness. So now, in order to raise your self-esteem, in order to actually help you have a better life, you have to do difficult things, right? You have to do difficult things. Otherwise, we all become big humans, and it's gonna ruin our society. So if our dad if he was afraid to do that and do the uncomfortable thing, come here all by himself, learn the new language so late in his age, and only have $300, not know anyone in the United States, had to learn new language, learn how to, do a new job, because it was a completely new job, something he didn't do in Ukraine. And he had to spend nights learning English while also he cleaned toilets in order to make extra money so we can come to the United States and he's able to afford all the clothes and food for us. And my dad, I did not even know this, but he told us he could not even afford a Christmas tree for us when we came here. And we did not know any of this, because our mom and our parents really made our life so good that we did not even know that our parents were struggling. So that's one thing I want to talk about. Person number one, they always talk about they want to change. But if you are in your 50s, in your 60s, and you feel you're sick, your life is just not where you want to be, you have to go back 20 years and think about what kind of choices you have made. What kind of choices you have made that got you to the life that you want to have. So genes, they only account for like 2 to 3% of diseases. Everything else, maybe your family didn't teach you right. Again, nobody taught us how we're supposed to be eating. We had to learn that in our own, in our 20s. Our family did not know how to eat healthy. When we came to the United States, we were eating ice cream, we were eating Coca-Cola, we were eating a lot of cereals and processed foods. So again, it's not like a family and our mom knew what to do, and we started getting health problems. So we had to learn on our own, take the classes, invest thousands of dollars into education, spend 10 years of our life learning this information and working with people and creating a business, investing hundreds of $1,000s into business mentors, taking out $83,000 in business loans in order to start this business to help people. Okay, so we had to do difficult things to do what we're doing now. And how many of you are gonna take out $83,000 loan so you can start a business? How many of you are going to do that? How many of you are gonna invest even more than that to learn from others so you can have a business to help people? So again, things did not come easily to us, and we were not born into wealth. We came here again. Dad came here with $300. So a person number two, they're also going to be scared. They're going to be in pain too. They're going to be exhausted. But when they recognize that what they've been doing hasn't been working for them, they move. They don't wait for perfect timing, because you're going to lose your opportunity. What does this mean is that you can get sick enough and it's going to be irreversible. Or let's say you have opportunity to get a new job, but you're going to have fear and hesitate. That job is going to go to someone else. They don't wait for guarantees, because nothing in life is guaranteed. We already know that. The only thing that's guaranteed is death. We're all going to die, and taxes. We all have to pay taxes. So these are the only things that are guaranteed. And they don't wait until they feel ready. They act in spite of fear, not after it disappears. So these are the people who work with us. And if you look at our clients, we even had clients who did not speak any English, clients who lived in India work with us and pay for the program. So not because they're lucky, not because they're special, but because their actions match their words. Healing does not respond to desperation, it responds to decision. But every time, even if you don't make a decision, you're still making a decision not to make a decision. So if someone keeps doing what they've always done, whether it's medications or tons of supplements, then or continue seeing different specialists, then the outcome stays the same. But when someone finally says, I'm done living like this, it backs it up with action. And that's when the biology changes. That's when inflammation comes down. That's when pain, goes away. That's when people get their lives back. And that's why, do you want change, or do you just want to talk about how hard things are? Because the body only responds to what you do, not what you say. So if you're ready to act, we know exactly how to help you. And that's why we do have consultation, to make sure that we can help you before we work together. And you're ready for help, okay? A lot of people say they're ready, but it's not easy to stick to something long term, to learn things that you learn that were actually wrong for you. Okay, again, comes back down to protein. Everybody keeps telling you eat more protein as you get older, but that's not truth. Okay, when the more protein you eat, especially when it comes from inflammatory sources like the protein powders, it causes more inflammation. And all these processed foods contain heavy metals. It doesn't matter whether it's organic or grass fed, none of this matters. But more protein is not the answer, not only to your health, but to disease reversal. And Mike, hi Mike, good to see you. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. So in this class, we talked about whether your words match your action. That's what we talked about, because a lot of people say things, but when it comes to act, they don't do anything. And I shared with you some examples how Dad came to the United States with only $300, and what we had to do to start this business to help people, and how much decade of our life we have invested working with people, and as well as into our own education. So nothing ever comes to anyone for free. If you ever see any person that you admire or you feel like they're successful, 99% of the time, when you look at their story, they were either homeless, or they had to leave their parents, move to another states, another country, in order to, break out of either poverty or their current situation that they were born into. Okay, because we can't change what we are born into, but we can change what happens 10 to 20 years from now. So the decisions you're making now, whether decisions towards your health, are you taking care of your health? Are you taking care of your diet? Are you doing that right now? That's going to determine the health you're going to have 10 years from now. My sister and I invested into our health in our 20s. Now, looking back, we're getting into our 40s, that's the health we have now because we made the choices 15 years ago to have the health we have now. So whatever you're gonna have, it's all going to comes back to the type of decisions you're making right now and what you're gonna deal with when you are older. Do you want to spend your 60s or 70s in a hospital on the IVs, fighting cancer or pneumonia? Because that's what I saw when I was volunteering at the hospital in my 20s. I saw all of these people in their 60s in the hospital, in and out, whether they were dealing with cancer or they were dealing with infections that came after being on immunotherapy medications. They started getting more side effects from them, or osteoporosis or pneumonia. And the woman told me that I remember, and again, this was like 20 years ago, actually. This was 20 years ago. She told me that when you're old, it's one thing after another. She told me she just was fighting cancer and now she's dealing with pneumonia. She's back in the hospital. So 20 years of your life, you're just in the hospital. What kind of life is that? So we want to help people to avoid that. And when you do the right things, you do the difficult things, there's going to be much greater chance that you're never going to have to deal with that. Okay? So again, in a family, my grandfather died from prostate cancer. My grandmother died from stroke. She had stroke. And my grandmother on my mother's side, she grew up eating the food that she grew on her own farm. So everything she ate, she grew herself. And she ended up living till she was 89 years old, but she struggled with shingles, really horrible shingles. And she was in so much pain, but she lived just to continue seeing us we talked to her on Skype, and she only lived for us, even though she was in suffering. She was suffering and no doctor could help her. And we couldn't help her because she was in Ukraine. And she just passed away a year ago uh, in Ukraine, and they were actually bombing outside her house. So this is where we grew up. We grew up in Ukraine, and if we would have never came here, we would not be alive. I guarantee that. Because where we grew up, where we were raised, everything's gone because of the war. So my grandmother was sleeping on the floor because they were bombing right outside her house. And for days she couldn't hear because that's how loud the bombs were. And she couldn't move again. She was so old. So imagine what would have happened if our dad never came here and if he was afraid to do that. And if her mom didn't support him through all that. And she actually had to go, again, I don't know the full story, but she had to get all the paperwork in Ukraine. And the Ukrainian government lied to her. They made her pay extra money just to get some kind of paperwork that she did not even need. So again, she got scammed just to get a dad to come to Ukraine. And they had so much stress that my parents came here, they lost all of their teeth. In their 50s, our parents had lost all of their teeth because of how stressful their life was. And I remember dad was making around $10,000 a year in Ukraine, working as a top engineer. So whatever we're born into, there's only going to be one opportunity to get out of that. Whether it's you're going to have opportunity to have, to do what it takes to change your health, and you're going to have opportunity to change your job maybe. So if my dad had that one opportunity, if he would have missed it, we would not be here. So hope this gives you some motivation and perspective that, again, it reminds you that nobody's lucky. Our clients are never lucky. They had to make hard decisions, and most of them spent over $30,000 working with so many different doctors before they came to us for help. So it wasn't like our program is the first program they ever tried. And a lot of our clients continue investing into their health, whether it's through implementing the things that they learned in the program and making difficult decisions, even when their family does not understand that. So I hope you have a happy holiday. This could be probably my last live for this year. And then I'll see you next year. If you're looking to see our courses, just come on masterclass. I really think everybody should get our courses and start learning that education. And we put them together for you so you can start following along on your own. But also, if you're looking to get personal help, we are available in January. Mike said, I grow what I eat as chemical free as I can, as organic as I can. So that's great. And that's why I think a lot of people who do that, who are able to do that, they're gonna have better health. But a lot of people are not able to do that. Maybe they either don't have a space to grow their own food. And a lot of our clients we worked with, they don't grow their own food. So they get everything from a grocery store, but they're still able to recover and see results, rapid results in their health. But if you're able to do it, our mom grows some of their food as well when we visit her. She has tomatoes, she has some parsley, cilantro, onion, and potatoes. That's mostly what she's able to grow. And I really love eating right from the ground because it just tastes so much better and it's fresh. And also, we have raspberry tree from Ukraine. That is just amazing. It grows so much. And then we have grapes from Ukraine, but the bugs continue eating the leaves. So we're not able to grow grapes because every year the bugs eat all the leaves. So they eat a grape tree from Ukraine. So that just shows you how healthy it is that the bugs just eat it. We can't even get rid of them. So we never get to eat a grape tree because the bugs eat it all. By the time nothing just grows on it. So that's what and we have gooseberries as well from Ukraine. And we grow the gooseberries that grow very small amount, but they're high in vitamin C and delicious. So make sure that you follow our YouTube channel, a TikTok, and an Instagram because we are starting a new health series. We're gonna talk about different things, different foods, healthy foods. We're gonna compare like healthier foods and what we actually like and why we like certain things. So make sure that you follow us on other channels as well because we post different content. Thanks for joining us, and I hope you have happy weekend. Let's see.